Happy Friday, Roanshaw Ranchers. I hope everybody had a wonderful week and stayed cool in the incredible hot weather that we had for the last 2 days. We are doing well over here. Harry actually did very, very well with the heat. I was pretty concerned with how he would handle it. Fortunately, we have a nice breeze here. He stayed in the shade and drank lots of water, so he did very, very well. With his sheer size, I thought that he was going to be sweating a lot and uncomfortable. The biggest issue with him is flies, but we were able to keep that to a minimum. And we have a system now that he knows when I come out, I keep the flies away from his privates. So he comes to me and he's like, "Can you get these off of me?" So he's making huge strides in every aspect. He was not wanting to be haltered nicely. I mean, he would have it done, but it was a process to have it done. Hated having fly spray or any kind of lotion on him, and that has changed. I'm now able to bring a bottle up to him. I'm not spraying him. I'm putting it in my hand and then rubbing it on him. Be it a skin lotion treatment that I just put on him, or the fly spray. It's always, I put it in my hand and then I rub on him. He is just not to the point that we can do like any kind of spray bottles, but he is to the point that I can bring a bottle up to him and he doesn't get all anxious and jittery and walk away. So that is huge progress. He's also dropping his head now when I'm trying to apply lotion or fly spray to his main area. You can still see right up here that he's still bald. So it is still a little sensitive. It is the mane is starting to grow back in that area, but for the longest time he did not want to be touched there, and now he allows me to touch it and to put some skin lotion on it to make sure that it doesn't get sunburn or irritated or the flies are on it or anything like that. So kudos to him. He's really making huge progress. As far as his leg goes, all of the scabs have, all of the wounds have scabbed over and have fallen off. So that's a wonderful thing. We're continuing to put skin lotion on his legs as well. So that is progress. Even right now, I was able to put it all over his back legs, which is a huge improvement. Don't get me wrong, we have to be very cautious because he does kick to get the flies away. But I have a system where I not swat the flies, but make sure that the flies aren't bothering him while I'm over there, and apply the lotion all at the same time. It's kind of funny. It's like the spinning plate thing, if you've ever seen that shtick. But other than that, he is much more I'm having a trouble with the word. He is more apt to come up just to be around you, not necessarily to be pushy or dominant. You know, really he wants the attention. He is now craving the attention, which is nice. It's where we want the horses to be. I don't like them feeling weary around me, or that I'm trying to do something to them. And you know, when you get a horse in and they have medical conditions, you know, that's the balance that you're trying to wage, because, you know, you're trying to doctor them up and make them feel better. But while you're doing that process, you know, it's painful. You know, it's just like if we're healing, you know, putting lotions on and changing wraps and all that stuff. You know, it's painful, and especially when somebody that you don't know is doing it, you know, you're going to be like, oh boy, here's that person again. And that's what happens with horses that come in and we're trying to make them feel better, but they don't know us. Harry is past that point of being weary of what we're trying to do, and honestly, I think he likes the attention. And you know, his facial features really show it. You know, he was showing that he was always concerned when we were around, and now he's not. He's a lot more laid back and you know, happy-go-lucky. You know, unfortunately, that's not the case when he hears machinery. He is still very, very scared of tractors. Our next door neighbor was doing some mowing over by the line, and he happened to be out and about in his little paddock area, and they got too close, and he started trotting back to the barn because he just did not want to be around it. And he watched the neighbors while they were close to the fence line, and he was half in the barn and half out of the barn with his head sticking out of the barn, making sure that he had his thing necessary. So I still don't know what the heck happened with machinery, because he should be used to it, being the age that he is and where he came from. I'm not real sure what the issue is there. I don't know if it's because, you know, it looks weird because of his cataracts and he just hasn't adjusted to it yet, or I'm honestly at a loss as to why there's such an issue with a tractor. And it's actually any farm machinery, or any machinery at all. It doesn't even have to be farm machinery. You know, a side-by-side, you know, I use a side-by-side to spread our manure. We have 2 manure spreaders, and you know, I go very, very slowly by him, and he's now to the point that he's like, okay, you're not going to go whizzing by me. I can handle that. Even like the clanging of the manure spreader gets him a little jittery too. So not quite sure. You know, we'll keep working on it and going slow, and you know, at this point, there's really no reason why he has to be, you know, spot on with that. We're not, it's not like he's going to be pulling machinery or be around machinery, other than if, you know, he's in his, in the pasture. So, so that's one thing. I'd like to see if he would be able to handle a fly mask. For some reason, the flies really leave his face alone, which, you know, that's an awesome thing. But I would like to have some protection with his eyes, since he does have cataracts. I'm not sure he's to that point yet. You know, I don't want to put a fly mask on and then, you know, have all hell break loose and him hurt himself because he's trying to take the stupid thing off. So I'm going to, you know, just do little test runs and see how he does, just by putting it over his face and seeing if he can handle that or not. He may not be able to handle a Barney-like fly mask, because, you know, that does have much more protection as far as blocking, and I don't want to inhibit his or prohibit his eyesight. So so we'll see. With the very least, I'll try just a normal fly mask to see if he's able to handle that. But that is Harry right now. He has one more mite treatment that I'm going to give him this weekend, and then he is all done with that. And you know, his skin looks beautiful right now. So I'm hopeful that we are over the hump with that, and now he can just be more comfortable, and we'll just work with the skin lotion just to make sure that that any irritation that he does have, we have control over. But that's Harry. So awesome news with Harry. Let's go visit Lulu. As soon as I go to say I lose you guys. So we're gonna, at some point in here, I'm gonna lose you again probably, but excuse me while I limbo. So here's Louie. Oh, our sweet boy. He is still having hoof issues. As you can see, let me get a little closer. Hi, Louie. As you can see, he is back in a boot, or a different boot, I should say. I got the go-ahead to take the wrappings that I had done off, and it did not even take 24 hours and he was limping on that left foot. So instead of wrapping him back up, I decided to see if maybe putting him in a boot would be better, and it took him about a day, and he was back to walking nicely. So we will just continue with the boot, and you know, it's a balancing act, because if you have the boot on too tight around his essentially his ankles, then he gets ouchy, but if you have it too loose, then he flies off the boot. So I'm trying to find that middle ground, and you know, eventually I'll find it. But other than that, his other hoof seems to be healing nicely and has healed nicely. I'm probably just going to purchase another boot for him, so he's going to be more level. So he's, you know, one without and one with. I don't want him to like throw his back out of alignment, because you guys know that he gets chiropractic, because he does get out of alignment easily. So we are going to purchase another boot for him. We're actually probably going to do a pair, so then we have a backup in case we need it, because we know how good he is with chucking boots. Right now he really doesn't have, you know, that much space to get up to speed. He still does run around, but it's nowhere close to what he can do when he is going to be able to get back in the back pasture. Still waiting for the green light from Dr. Lauren on that. Need to have a conversation and see if he can go out there. I really don't want to let everybody else out and then have him stay behind, because history has proven that does not work well with him. It's not even worth the effort. So it's gonna be an all or nothing. So hopefully that's gonna be soon, that everybody's gonna be able to go. My gut is saying it's just gonna be try it and see what happens if he's able to maintain it. You know, one of the reason is there's a pad, a stone pad underneath here, and it just might be too hard for his feet, and he actually will do better out on the pasture, might be what is going to happen. So you know, I'll have that conversation with Dr. Lauren this week, next week, and and hope to have good news on that, because I really do want them all out on pasture. They love it. They have room to roam. It's, you know, they're not in a confined space, and they can do whatever the heck that they want out there. That is the story on Louie. He is showing a little bit of his neurological signs. He has been shaking his one leg, or twitching, or whatever we want to call it. I think part of it is because he's annoyed by the flies. Quite honestly, when the flies are fine, like in the morning he's fine, but in the afternoon when he's moving his legs around to try and get the flies away from him, you see the neurological signs more. But once again, it's nowhere near where he was as far as prior. So, you know, it just could be the way that Louie is, which is absolutely fine, because he's happy and moving around, and he's got a good quality of life, and that's what's most important. Just a reminder, we have started our community hay bank. So if you could spread the word about that, if you are a horse owner and have, you know, friends who have horses, and, you know, they're concerned with if they're going to be able to pay for hay this upcoming season. You know, the people are cutting hay right now and getting it in for the winter. Please tell them about our hay bank. Just go to our website, roncharranchrescue.org. And right on the home page is the link to the hay fund page, the hay bank page, I should say. So please spread the word on that. It's vitally important that gets out, so that we're able to help as many horse owners as we can keep their horses. You know, it's going to be a rough year, and we all know it. So please let people know, share out the post, word of mouth. You know, I'm going to start putting up flyers in places where people go and get feed. I just have to make it up, and hopefully that will help to get the word out. I've posted it on Facebook in a couple of groups. You know, if you're members of groups and you haven't seen that post, if you could, you know, mention it, or post yourself, or share our post, you know, whatever you need to do just to get the word out about it, because it is truly, truly important that people know that that's a resource for them. That's really it right now, Ronchar Ranchers. I hope that everybody has a wonderful weekend. It's supposed to be nice here in Western New York, at least cooler. So enjoy yourself, be well, and I will talk to everybody next week. See you later, Ronchar Ranchers.